Hey everyone, welcome to AJS. In continuation with our series on Saturn, today we are going to discuss about Saturn in the third house. So if you open your horoscope and if you see something like this, that means that you have Saturn in your third house. Now, if you see over here, the sign is Mithun or Gemini. Accordingly, in your horoscope, you can check the signs. So, if you have Saturn in Libra, Aquarius, or Capricorn, which means in Libra it is exalted, Capricorn and Aquarius are its own signs and is considered to be most favorable. Moving on, if you have Saturn, this assumes like you have benefic Saturn, like it can be in its friend sign. It can be in Taurus. It can be in Virgo. Or it can be exalted, as in the case of Libra, or in its own sign. So these people who have Saturn in their third house, they are, full of courage. They are valiant. They exhibit courage. They are by default happy people. You'll find happiness in their words, happiness when they talk. They're cheerful. It's not kind of saddest, like, hey, this thing bad happened to me, or, show empathy towards me. But these guys, people reach out to them for any kind of problems or difficulties they are facing. They are judicious. They like to take decisions, they like to make decisions. They are heroic. By their courage, by their valiant, they quickly rise up to the ranks. They are kind-hearted. So you will often find these guys to be some famous figures in the society due to their acts of benevolence. They are sharp-witted. They are quick enough to grasp the things, be it in the profession, be it in the job or in the business. They know where the tide is going. They are thoughtful. These people are visionary as well. Prominent among them, Steve Jobs. So these guys have a lot of insights into what's happening around them. Not only that, they can think about the future in much better ways as compared with the rest of the crowd. They are virtuous and they have high standards not only for them but also for the people who are surrounded to them. Many people depend on them. It can be due to any idea. So this can be entrepreneurs. These can be the dependent people in any software company. These can be the dependent people in the business. They can be just like Sheryl Sandberg. People depend on them. Future depends on these people. They don't have enmity towards anyone. They are full of confidence within themselves. They are full of courage. So they don't indulge in like he's my friend, he's my foe, let's make a plan to get him down. These guys are not into that. They are respected in their family. They get joy of their wife and sons. They are well respected in their field. They respect honor and respect in their fields. They are enemies conquerors. So reason behind their success is they only focus on themselves without focusing on the rest of the world. So these guys know like this is my target, this is where I am standing. In order if I have to move the needle, I have to move from point A to point B, and they are totally focused on that instead of thinking about rest of the worldly matters. And that's one of the prominent reasons for their success. They are illustrious and they're popular. They get pleasure of good vehicle. You'll find these guys in Tesla, you'll find them in Mercedes. They like to drive good vehicles. They like to show off their standards. Speaking of that, they also like to build a house and have some properties of excellent taste. Not necessarily it might be mentioned altogether, but better than the standards, they like to, like build a customized house, do the designing, have unique aspects about that house, like minute details, attention to all the details. If Saturn is exalted or in its own sign, as I already mentioned at the start of the video, so this increases the chance of the number of brothers. So in the case of siblings, he will have more brothers as compared to sisters. Now let's talk about Saturn is not auspicious. Saturn over here is malefic. How can Saturn be malefic? If it is aspected by malefic planets, if it is debilitated, which is when it's in the sign of Aries. So if you have malefic Saturn over here, these people are malicious. They are wicked. So you will have, the traits, the hunger, the passion will still be there, but instead of going through the right channels to the right direction, these guys are often tempted to take shortcuts. You'll find them to have dark complexion. You cannot trust them, they are unworthy. They always speak evil and remain ungrateful. Now, if you see the difference between malefic and benefic, you see like these guys are mainly thinking about the future. In the case of benefic, they are working on themselves, versus in this case, they are not in harmony with the nature. They are thinking more on the negative side, less on the positive side. And that's the reason they don't enjoy the same luxuries and comforts as in the case when the Saturn over here is benefic. These guys, they have differences with their brothers and kin. They don't get along with not only their brothers, but not sometimes even with their family members, friends, and close relatives. Saturn over here gives inauspicious effect for their next brother. These guys, they tend to abort their own kids for reason maybe whatever. It can be due to the circumstances, but Saturn over here obliterates his progeny. You'll also find members of their family to be lazy. Now, because of all of these qualities and traits, these people's desires and hope remain unsatisfied. Moving on to remedies. If you don't have benefic Saturn over here, the remedies prescribed in the Lal Kitab are: fix a nail made of iron at the threshold of a house. Keep your wealth, money, jewelry in the dark room of your house. So that's about Saturn in third. We'll continue the Saturn series. Next week, we'll talk about Saturn in the fourth house. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you do have any comments, please post it in the comment section below. Well, that's it for now. See you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me.